Hello everybody, Dave Johnson from the Media Relations Office here at UW La Crosse with head baseball coach Chris Schwarz as we preview the WIAC Baseball Championships this weekend, presented by Culver's. The championships are Friday and Saturday down at UW Whitewater. The Eagles are the number 2 seed. They will play number 3 seed Stevens Point on Friday at 10 a.m. Top seeded Whitewater will host 4th seeded Oshkosh at 1 p.m. It's a double elimination tournament, and the winner earns the automatic bid to the NCAA Division III Championships. The field will be announced on May 14th. First, Coach Schwarz, let's talk about your team going into the tournament. You've won 12 of the last 15. You just had a recent 7-game winning streak, which tied a season high. Took 3 or 4 against Platteville. So how you feel your team's kind of momentum going into the league tournament here?
Yeah, I think we're in a good position. I mean, the whole goal throughout the course of any season really is to get going and to get hot at the end and to get ready for the playoffs. And I think as this season has progressed with the personnel we have, it's kind of come together really nicely, and we're really playing well right now going into the postseason.
You've been there before in the postseason. You won the conference tournament last year here in La Crosse. So a lot of new players in terms of this year, in terms of guys who maybe have not seen as much playing time. You lost a lot of All-Americans, All-Conference players the last couple of years when you've made the national championships over in Appleton. But just talk about those guys this year, getting the chance to play this year and contributing.
Yeah, I mean, any year you lose seniors and have to move on is a little bit tough. But last year, a little extra tough. With some of the players that we had, they're really high-quality players, as you mentioned, with All-Americans in there. But moved on, and we've got a lot of new guys playing. And early on, we knew we were young, and we knew the experience was going to be the most valuable part in getting those guys at bats and innings on the mound, and not necessarily flip-flopping guys all over the place, but giving a couple guys those at bats and that experience, kind of sticking with them. And that's what we've done. And to this point now, those guys aren't freshmen anymore. They're not sophomores anymore. They're not young guys with little to no at bats. They've gained the experience that they've needed. So I think going into the playoffs here, playing the schedule that we've played this year, one of the best in the country, we're in position to play anybody and everybody. There's nothing that we haven't seen out there.
Again, it's a double elimination tournament, so pitching is real critical, of course, this weekend. Let's talk about pitching. Your ERA is 3.21, holding opponents to a 261 batting average. I think there's about 10 pitchers who have ERAs under 4 with, maybe it's 8 pitchers with at least 10 innings pitched. But let's start with Caleb Bosley. Caleb, 4-time WIAC Pitcher of the Week, preseason All-American. He was named to the National Division III Player of the Week yesterday. Just talking about Caleb, he set 3 school records this year, wins, strikeouts, and innings in a career.
Yeah, everybody wants to have a horse at the front of the rotation, and a lot of teams do. Caleb is a special pitcher. He's a special player and a special person, really. I mean, he's fun to have around. He's a catalyst for us in the dugout when he's not pitching, but clearly on the mound when he leads us out in this tournament setting or in a weekend series. When he leads us out, everybody knows that we've got a really good shot at winning that ball game. Nobody's going to hit him around. All he's done for us over the years that he's been here, but especially this year, with an offense that isn't putting up 10 runs a game like we did last year, he's gone out and really set the tone, inning 1, game 1 right away, and we really expect him to do that tomorrow as well.
Talking about some other pitchers, Jamison Lavery, senior, Brock Ruda, senior from Onalaska's, ERA under 2, and then Caleb Williams, 7 saves this year. So you've got contributions really from several pitchers this year.
Yeah, and it goes further than that too. We've pitched a couple different guys in the 3, 4, 5 spot in our rotation, and those guys have contributed really well too. And Lav being a senior, he's been there, done that. He's been in the postseason. He's pitched big games. He knows exactly what to do. So game 2 tomorrow, he'll roll out and give us every opportunity to win that. And like you mentioned, Brock and Caleb out of the bullpen. Those 2 guys have been great for us this year, and we've been going to Caleb a little more in those save situations. So he's got those numbers, but Brock is just as much of a shutdown pitcher as Caleb is. So those 2 guys coming out of the bullpen is really important. And on top of it, the other guys that have been pitching, the Mason McMahon, Connor Cook, Travis Stahulik, the guys that have been picking up a ton of innings, Zach Pronczynski as a freshman. We've gotten contributions from a lot of guys. We rely on Bosley a lot, but not to the point where we can only win when he's on the mound. We've got a lot of other guys that can pitch.
Let's go to the offensive side of the ball. Carter Hoffman missed a lot of time with the injury. Now he's up to, I think he's hitting over 400 coming back. So what he has meant back in the lineup for you?
He's huge on the offensive side. He's our catalyst right now, and we were missing that that senior bat, that consistency early on, and we were winning some games early on, definitely, and you know, that adding him back into the lineup, you know, especially the way he kind of came back in. You know, he was injured early on and couldn't really do anything, and all of a sudden he turned the corner and he could swing, and he got 2 pinch hits and a doubleheader and got singles on both of them, and then went right into the weekend and hit a couple home runs and you know, RBI, and that's kind of that guy that you need in the middle of the lineup that we've been missing. And since he's been back, that's been able to you know, give us the chance to move some guys around into more comfortable positions in the lineup, and we're really moving guys around him. And in addition to Carter, we got Nick Peshek at the exact same time, and he was injured as well, and you know, he's hitting over 400 as well right now. So you know, those two guys, especially Carter as the catalyst, have really changed our offense. You know, and our offense is different than some of these teams have seen, even our conference teams early in the year. So you know, that's really nice and exciting going into the tournament, knowing that we do have the ability to put up some runs.
Other players on the offensive side, Nate Hiley, he's been played third last year, moved over to shortstop this year. He's been basically your leading hitter all year, average-wise. Joel Zlayowski, top lineup, leading in runs. So Brady Stoll's been playing at first base. So you're getting, sort of like on the pitching side, you're getting contributions on all sides for offense as well.
Yeah, it's not just one guy. Carter's, you know, definitely our catalyst right now, but it's not just one guy. You know, Nate Hiley's was in the lineup all year last year, and you know, he got all that experience last year. So again, there's nothing out there that he hasn't seen, and you know, he's gone kind of up and down, but you know, he's talented enough that his lows aren't really as noticeable maybe as some others. You know, and his average has been pretty steady, and he's having good consistent at bats and sees a lot of pitches and playing an outstanding shortstop. And you know, we weren't sure that he was going to move over to short, you know, right away, but as soon as we did it, we're like, yep, he's staying at short all year long, and he's pretty good. And the other players that we've moved around, Brady's been moving around from, you know, DH. He's actually a catcher, and you know, kind of found a home at first base right now. And Zahowski, you know, four-year starter. You just can't replace that experience, especially in the leadoff spot. Go out there and you know, be able to see all the pitches, come back to the dugout, and tell everybody what to look for. You know, his numbers aren't as good as they have been in years past, but that doesn't take away from the confidence that he has in himself, or the confidence that we have in him as a player. And
talk about again, going to the national championships the last 2 years over in Appleton. Just talk about what that means. Like we said, some of these guys maybe didn't play a lot 2 years ago, but they've been there. They weren't freshmen, so they've seen it. Just kind of what kind of in favor, what that does for you as your team in terms of playing in that championship level already.
Yeah, I mean, going into the postseason now, I think that gives us a little bit of confidence. You know, especially those players that have been around. I honestly think for a little while there was a little bit of pressure early on the season. You know, we were getting ranked and beating some good teams and all that kind of stuff, and then, you know, when things didn't go as perfectly as they you know, we thought they might, which that happens in baseball. You fail, right? If there's ups and downs, you know, that maybe some pressure was kind of perceived, and then those young guys thinking, oh, well, I have to perform because last year and the year before, and you know, we had some of those conversations, and everybody's in a good place right now where last year doesn't matter, the year before doesn't matter. The experience we gained does, and the way our program runs itself going into the postseason, all that stuff matters. But you know, right now, all that matters is this team, the players that we have, the experiences that we've gained over the course of this year, and the confidence that we have, the high level of confidence that we have going into postseason.
Eagles again will open up with Stevens Point tomorrow at 10 a.m. You took 3 of 4 against the Pointers here at Copeland Park in lacrosse. Just quick little note on what do you expect from the Pointers tomorrow?
I expect good baseball. You know, they're a good baseball program. They're well coached. You know, they played very well against us here just a couple of weeks ago, and we were fortunate to get 3 of 4. We could have won all 4. They could have won 3 of 4. I mean, they were really good baseball games. You know, that, like I said, we fortunate to come out on top in most of them. They're going to play good baseball. They're going to pitch well. They're going to play defense. They're going to scrap the plate. So I don't expect it to be anything but you know, a grinded out, hard-nosed baseball game.
Again, the WIAC championships on Friday and Saturday down at UW Whitewater. The Eagles and Pointers will play at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Be sure to follow on UWLathletics.com and WIACsports.com. Thanks, Coach, and good luck.
Thank you.